Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we consistently apply ourselves to learning and acting upon the principles that allow us to thrive in change, the change that we planned for years, that we've been wanting, or being ready to adapt and be resilient in the midst of change that we didn't invite and we didn't want. Any kind of change brings with it an opportunity for us to grow, and we lean into that principle here on Sunday Night Live. So welcome. If you are joining us, I would love for you to say hi in the comments. I am on the road again, you guys. Last time I was with you from Orlando, Florida. Today I'm with you from West Branch, Michigan. Big difference there. It's a lot cooler here outside, if you must know. But one thing stays the same. I'm here. And tonight on Sunday Night Live, we are going to explore a really cool formula that I learned while I was at the International Maxwell Certification Conference last week. I learned it from a man some of you may be familiar with. His name is Dave Ramsey, and he is a financial freedom guru. And he taught us a few things about consistency that I'm going to share with you tonight. And I'm looking forward to hearing how you've seen consistently pay off for you. And I'm going to tell you a little bit how it's paid off for me. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Our hashtag tonight is hashtag trust the process. I almost went with hashtag bring the honor, but you guys, pretty much everything we talk about requires us to show up as that person that we've decided we are, that person with integrity and character. So hashtag bring the honor is almost always a staple, right? But tonight we're going to talk about hashtag trust the process. Consistency is a process. Hey, Missy, it's good to have you here. I see you watching. Thank you for being here. All right, so before we get too far in, I want you to know one of the things I do consistently every morning, like clockwork, is have a cup of coffee when I get up. And I drink thumb roast coffee. And you can drink thumb roast coffee even if you don't live anywhere near thumb roast, which I feel sad for you because it's really great here in Michigan. But if you don't live here, you can still enjoy the world's best coffee. It's clean, it's delicious. There is a blend and a roast for every taste, and all of it is all natural, delicious, no preservatives, no chemicals. It's freshly roasted for you, freshly roasted for me, right here in the thumb of Michigan. And if you want to try it, you can get 15% off by using the coupon code THRIVE, 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 and you'll get 15% off. Go to thumbroastcoffee.com. Yay! All right, with that, let's get started. You are what you do consistently. I'm going to say that again. You are what you do consistently. We've talked about consistency in the past. Some of the examples that I remember using were things like if you consistently eat a whole sleeve of Oreos every time you go to the pantry, you will gain weight. Consistency always shows up. And I can vouch for that personally because I considered a sleeve of Oreos a serving, and I did eat an entire sleeve every night for many weeks. And just between you and me, I did get a little bit bigger than I was before I started. That consistency paid off. I consistently brush my teeth, and I consistently reap the rewards of that, right? We consistently bathe. We consistently do all kinds of things. But I'm not talking about maintenance stuff here. I'm not talking about maintenance stuff. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about the things that we choose to be consistent in that are actually making us bigger people. John Maxwell says it this way, and I love John Maxwell because he's so succinct. He's got such a great way of describing principles that I hold near and dear. I count him as a friend and a mentor. And he said something last week at our convention that just stuck in my craw. We have to be bigger on the inside than we are on the outside. We have to be bigger on the inside than we are on the outside. If we are going to be able to thrive in the midst of change, adapt when negative change or change that we didn't ask for comes our way, we are going to have to continue to grow. We have to be bigger than the stuff that happens to us outside. We have to be bigger on the inside so that we can deal with all the stuff that happens to us on the outside. The good stuff, the stuff we planned for, and then the stuff that we didn't plan for. So I loved that. And so feel free to write that down. We need to consistently do something that makes us bigger on the inside than we are on the outside. Our capacity is bigger on the inside than what we're currently doing. When we grow ourselves, we are able to do more. We do it more effectively, we do it more efficiently, we do it more enthusiastically, we do it more passionately, more productively, because we spend the time growing who we are, which is why I was really, really tempted to use the principle hashtag bring the honor. You can feel free to use that hashtag if you want, because it's a good one. We have to intentionally grow ourselves as people so that we are able to deal with the changes that come our way. So, years ago, I worked at a plant that processed mail. Hi, Jim. I'm glad you jumped on. Welcome. I worked in a plant that processed mail. And every time the phone rang at the desk where we would do our work, and we were just sorting mail and lifting heavy sacks, and it was a loud place, and there were conveyor belts and forklifts driving and stuff beeping. And so people would answer that phone and yell into the phone the numbers of our work unit, which were 010. So they do something like this. 010! Every time the phone rang. Now, mind you, it was loud where we were, but it wasn't loud where the other people were. And yet, every time anybody ever answered the phone, this is how they did it. 010! And I hated that for a couple of reasons. And so, kind of for a joke, actually, anytime the phone rang, I would answer it. And I would answer it like this. You've reached 010. This is Shannon. How may I help you? And people laughed and laughed because it seemed like overkill. Like, we don't have a secretary. You're not a secretary. They were like rolling their eyes, you know. But I made them laugh. But I did it over and over and over. Hello, you've reached 010. This is Shannon. How may I help you? Hello, you've reached 010. 4, 5, 6 times a day. I did that for weeks. Whenever the phone rang, if I was by the phone. Hello, this is 010. How may I help you? Pleasant, professional. One day, the manager of the entire plant, the executive in charge of the whole kit and caboodle, called my boss. You know what he wanted to know? Who's that lady who answers the phone? Because we need a secretary to replace the one that's going on vacation, and she sounds like she could do it. What? I had no idea that consistently doing something that was allowing me to grow, that was allowing me to bring a little bit of respect to a situation that people weren't respecting, showing up and adding a little bit more, got the attention of the executive in charge. And that, my friends, was how I got my first opportunity to stop wearing steel-toed boots, to set aside the heavy lifting and the unloading of those trucks and trailers. And I got an opportunity to go up into the front offices and start learning to be a secretary. And from there, I never went back. I never went back. My consistency paid off. And I'm curious, what consistency is paying off for you? What consistency is paying off for you? What are you doing consistently that is good, that's allowing you to grow, so that when a change comes, an opportunity appears, you are ready for that opportunity. What are you doing to intentionally grow yourself every day, every week, every month, every year? I did a little bit of research on my mobile phone because I'm on the road. I don't have my computer with me. And I scrolled through and I actually counted. I have 143 videos posted on the YouTube channel. 143 Sunday Night Lives posted on the Sunday Night Live YouTube channel. And that's not all of them, because some of them are still hanging out. Some of the early ones are still hanging out in the Facebook feed for the Thrive and Change page. But 143 videos posted, 143 weeks of showing up. If you start at the very beginning, the oldest ones, a couple of years old, boy, I look different. I behave different. The background's different. The setting's different. What I'm wearing's different. I've got different glasses. It's all different. But as you start scrolling through that feed, you start seeing, oh, looks like Shannon figured it out. Ooh, with all that consistency came a little bit of knowledge. I was able to reflect and learn, hey, what works, what doesn't? How do I want to do this? What do I want in the background? And over time, the consistency of 143 Sunday Night Live videos has done a few things. It has sharpened me as a speaker and a presenter. It has undoubtedly affected people. The people who lean in consistently to Sunday Night Live are bigger on the inside than they were when they started, because that's the purpose of it. And every time I think, maybe I don't want to do Sunday Night Live tonight, I have to remind myself, this is just what you do, Shannon. This is what you do. And that is one of the huge benefits to consistency. We know what to expect from ourselves. This is what we do. This is what I do. I show up and bring whatever's on my heart. I do my very best. Excuse me while I readjust here. I do my very best to share a principle that I know is going to help you grow and adjust and adapt to change every week, week in and week out, even if I don't feel like it. So now I'm thinking, you're asking yourself, oh, right, Shannon, so that means you never get to take a break? No, you can be consistent and still take breaks. I think this is what's the key when we're talking about consistency, something that we do every week, for example, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Thrive and Change page. Shannon is going to show up and do a Facebook Live video for change principles, right? Consistently. We know it's going to happen. Now, if I need a break, or if I know I want to take a break, I can decide it ahead of time, and that doesn't kill my momentum. When I'm intentional about scheduling the break I need, my momentum does not get dragged down because I'm being intentional about it. So this is the thing. Whatever you decide to do consistently to grow, you have to be intentional about it, and you have to do it, right? That's part of the consistency. You actually do it. You don't just think about doing it, but you actually do that thing consistently. And if you need to take a break, you can intentionally schedule it and understand that you're going to resume on the next calendar date. It's an intentional interruption. Now, if you're terribly sick, of course that's different, right? Okay, so I'm seeing some hearts here, so you understand what I'm talking about. We can take a break from something that we do that's good for us growing, even if we're on a streak. A streak feels good sometimes, right? But interrupting a streak doesn't have to be the thing that derails us. And that's important. So the first point is this. You can do something consistently and still take a break, but it has to be an intentional break. in Livestream Leadership, where we consistently gather 3 Saturdays a month for a 1-hour mastermind, rain or shine, we are having those, but we also have an intentional pause built into that process, because as a facilitator and as a coach, I understand the power of the pause. I understand the power of reflecting and taking a few moments or a few days for something to just sink in, and then we reapproach it fresh. Here in the United States, most school districts have a summer break, right? Consistency, and then there's a break, and it's a pause. And if we're intentional about that pause, it doesn't have to mean a setback. So that's the first thing. You can be intentional and consistent in how you grow, and you can give yourself permission to take a break. The second thing is this. If you are on a roll in something you're doing, oh, Sylvia, glad to see you. If you are on a roll in something that you are doing consistently and then you miss it, don't beat yourself up. Don't act as if it was a roadblock. Bam. Treat it like a hiccup. There's a big difference between a roadblock and a hiccup, and you get to decide, my friend, what the interruption means to you. This is a very frivolous example, but it still counts because it taught me something. There's a little game I like to play on my phone, and it relaxes me. It's called Flow, and it's just connecting dots on a grid, and it's a simple game, but I won't be able to explain it simply, so I won't. But it's called Flow. And I enjoy it. It helps me to unwind a little bit. Sometimes it's kind of like those little busy work things that you do with your hands that distract you just enough that your mind can do some deeper work. That's how that game is for me. And there's every day it tells you what your streak is. So, you know, you've got you've done it 200 days in a row. You've done it 201 days in a row. You've done it 202 days in a row. And for some reason, that little number started to matter to me on this silly little game. And I started noticing, ooh, I've got 300 days in a row that I've played this game. It's not a huge investment of my time. It's maybe 5 minutes a day, just a little something that I enjoy. And I started noticing how many days in a row I'd done it. And then I didn't want to miss, right? So consistency, when we're keeping track, even on something as simple as a game, that consistency, when we can go in and say, oop, I was there, oop, I was there, oop, I was there, that builds a sense of accomplishment in us. But here's the thing. I didn't go in one day. And I was so sad. Over a silly little game, I was so sad. Like, oh my gosh, my streak, I blew my streak. I was at 300 and now I'm going to have to start over. It was awful. I could have let that just stop me from doing it again, even though it was valuable, even though I enjoyed it, even though it was something that I found to be a good pastime, a short one that helped me. Almost didn't go back in because I didn't want to look and see that number had reset and I'd missed my mark. And I decided, you know what? I enjoy it. It's something that I enjoy. So what if I start my streak over? I don't have to just abandon it. With such a little game, it was such a challenge for me mentally to say, you know what? I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to start. This is the thing, when you do something consistently and you miss for whatever reason, give yourself permission to jump back in, and don't call it I've lost everything moment. It was a hiccup. It was a hiccup. Don't allow missing something to make you stop. We know this with health, right? What do they say? The people, the wise ones who help us lose weight tell us over and over and over, when you make a mistake and eat the wrong thing, don't binge for the next 2 weeks, right? Just next meal, get right back on the wagon, get right back on track. That's the way it is with personal growth. If you have not been growing on the inside, it's time to start today. Number one, this is your first one. Start. Just start. I don't care what interrupted you in the past. If you haven't watched Sunday Night Live for 2 years, I don't care. Today's a new day. Let today be your first day. Let today be the start of doing something consistently that allows you to grow. Do not allow a hiccup to knock you off the wagon. Do not allow a little bump in the road to derail you from what you know you want. There are so many things in life that we have to do consistently in order for them to pay off. Anybody here have a college degree? Lots of getting up and going to school, right? Lots of papers, right? Lots of tuition, lots of books, lots of studying, lots of study groups, lots of, you name it. Oh, there's a list a mile long. But when you consistently execute those things, eventually you get to the goal and it pays off and there's something good. The change that you're planning in your life requires you to be consistent. Now, consistency certainly pays off when the unexpected thing happens, right? If we are consistently growing on the inside, when a situation shows up that maybe we would have gotten angry in the past, or maybe we would have given up in the past, but we've built some internal fortitude through consistency, and we show up like that person we know we are, that's a triumph. I mean, that is a triumph. But when we are planning our changes, it requires consistency if we are going to do it. And so I'm going to post a picture after we're all done talking here. I'm going to post a picture of this. I wrote it out. We learned this last week from Dave Ramsey, that financial freedom guru. And he was talking to us about momentum. And he gave us a formula. And this is what the formula is. And I'm going to read it so I do not mess it up. It is this: intense focus over time multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. I'm going to say that again. Intense focus over time multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. And so as we're wrapping up today's Sunday Night Live, which I was tempted to cancel because it's Labor Day weekend, it's a holiday here in the United States, and I've been out doing some work in the garage and having fun with the family, and it feels like a barbecue day, and like, oh, I don't know if I want to do Sunday Night Live, but here I am. Here I am because this is what I do. This is what I do. I showed up. And so as I've been thinking about the power of Sunday Night Live and the momentum, not the momentum, the power that's being stored up, I don't know where all of this leads for me. I don't know where it all leads for you. But I do know this. I know that whenever you do something good consistently that allows you to grow as a person, it might look like nothing's happening, but something is happening. And I'm just going to ask you, as we wrap up the Labor Day version of Sunday Night Live, what is that good change in your life that requires you to apply intense focus consistently? When you intently focus on that thing that you know you want, and you take action consistently over time, and you allow God into that equation, you are going to have unstoppable momentum toward whatever that thing is that you're working toward. If you do not have a goal, if you don't have a dream, I want to encourage you, dig deep. Dig deep. What do you want? Because you can achieve it, but it will require consistency. Like Dave Ramsey says, intense focus over time multiplied by God. Let's always let him in that equation. Man, he changes everything. Intense focus over time multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. What do you need to focus on intently so that you can have unstoppable momentum toward that thing? I encourage you, dig deep. What is that thing? And what are you willing to do consistently so you can have it? With that, I am going to say farewell. I hope that this has been an awesome day for you. Whether you are watching this live or you are watching this on a recording, what are you willing to do consistently over time so that you get that unstoppable momentum toward the result that you want? You can thrive in change. You can thrive in the change that you design, but it's going to take unstoppable momentum to get through all those hurdles. And if you want unstoppable momentum, you've got to have intense focus over time and then let God in that picture. All right, with that, take care. I love you. Bye.